we have enough people here. Okay, I'm going to start the meeting. I don't have my mallet here, so. Pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10-4-10, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided and advertised. Such notice in the Home News Tribune, the Asbury Park Press, the board office, and the schools, and on Cablevision Channel 118 and Verizon Files 24, and filing by such notice with the Township Clerk. This meeting was scheduled for Tuesday, March 12, 2024. Thank you. Would everybody please rise for the pledge? Thank you.
The Old Bridge Township Board of Education acknowledges that the law of the state establishes that members of the public, including members of the board, have the right to record public board meetings using audio or video recording devices, provided that the act of recording does not interfere with the business of this public board meeting. Therefore, the board makes it known that any such recording is to be considered the private recording of the individual and in no manner represents the official record of this board. The board therefore takes no responsibility for such private recording and completely disavows any future use.
Thank you, Mr. Waddell. Roll call, please.
Ms. D'Antuno?
Present.
Mr. Giordano?
Here.
Ms. Jodry?
Here.
Ms. Francisco?
Here.
Ms. Lent?
Here.
Mr. Marquetta? Ms. Mazzone?
Here.
Mr. Slade?
Here.
And Mr. Solikowski.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Okay, Code of Ethics. I'm looking for a volunteer for next week. I will come up with somebody on that one. Okay, thank you. You're going to do a lot more than that because we have a lot of recognition. Okay, approval of the minutes. Any questions? No? Thank you. Okay, we have some new hirees that are here this evening, and we would like to recognize you folks.
Okay. So we'd like to welcome and call up as new hires Marissa, Andrew, and Nelson to our school staff. So come up and I guess turn around. We'll take a picture. We'll have you come on stage. Okay, just up on stage. Okay, and then just turn around right there. You'll get to know Scott very well. He takes all your pictures.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And congratulations, and good
Welcome
luck
to
on your new
Old Bridge.
job here, okay?
Welcome.
Okay, can I get a motion to move recognition?
Jodry will move.
Marquetta seconds.
1 through 5, okay.
We're not voting, yeah.
A superintendent's report, Mr. Citadino called me up. He's going to be a little late. Progress toward goals, correspondence. Any correspondence? Mr. Wydell, any correspondence?
No
Thank you.
correspondence.
Special committee reports we'll have next week. Any school or agenda items, I'm sorry. Any items that are on the agenda? No takers? Okay. Okay, we have an addendum we have to add, don't we? Here it is. Okay. Okay, policy. Nothing on policy, curriculum, and 1 through 6.
We won't be voting
Any
on it.
discussion? No? You okay? Okay, finance, we have action on one over here. Payment of bills. Can I get a motion to move number 1?
Jodrell second.
Any discussion? No? Roll call, please.
Lent,
Yes.
Marqueta,
Yes.
Mazzone,
Yes.
Slade,
Yes.
D'Antuno,
Yes.
Giordano,
Yes.
Jodry,
Yes.
Francisco,
Yes.
Solakowski.
Yes.
Resolution 1 for finance passes.
Thank you. Okay, finance, 1 through 21. Any discussion? No? Athletics, 1 and 2. Any discussion? No? Non-certified personnel office, we have 1 item. Any discussion? No? Non-certified personnel operational, there's nothing here. Non-certified personnel other, 1 through 8. Any discussion?
Just, I guess, a question. Number 8, Jean Dansky, do we not know when she's returning, or that's to be filled in for next week?
We're waiting for the additional documentation to confirm the return date.
Certified personnel, we have action items for number 1, 2, and 3. Any discussion?
Just, again, welcoming all the new hires to Old Bridge and looking forward to our journey together. Thank you.
What programs are you going to be teaching? Phys ed? All 3 of you? Oh, okay. I didn't see the paperwork.
So we have 2 speech, a psychologist, and 2 for GEM Phys Ed. Thank you.
Again, congratulations. Okay, I need a motion.
Mazzone will motion it.
Second,
Francisco will second.
roll call.
Slade,
Yes.
D'Antuno,
Yes.
Giordano,
Yes.
Jodry,
Yes.
Francisco,
Yes.
Lent,
Yes.
Marqueta,
Yes.
Mazzone,
Yes.
Solakowski.
Yes,
Resolutions 1 through 3 for certificated personnel passes.
thank you. Any discussion on certified personnel 4 through 14? None? Non-certified personnel 1 and 2. Any discussion? No?
Okay, yes, so I do have a question. So number 10, can we just talk about any particular one? Is that fine? Okay. So for the subject area supervisors for over the summer, and I'm just curious and would like a little more information on exactly what they will be doing over the summer and what what types of tasks and that we feel are necessary to provide for over the summer.
So each one has different responsibilities. This upcoming summer, all of the ELA curriculum and all of the math curriculum has to be rewritten due to new standards from the state. So Mr. Celentano, Ms. Winters, and Ms. Adinolfi would all be reviewing curriculum, making sure those curriculum guides are on for August, and then having them voted on first the start of the school year, so they'd be accessible. Ms. Hicks oversees nursing, so she would be assisting in nursing. She does the Perkins grant, which is a grant that we have for CTE. It's due in September, as well as her other professional responsibilities that could be allotted to in the summer. And then Ms. Doherty, Dr. Doherty, excuse me, newly Dr. Doherty, she is overseeing the ESY program. So that's 20 days. It runs from July 8th to August 8th. And Ms. Adinolfi is also overseeing our preschool program, so she has to get the buildings up and running for the preschool program in September.
Okay, so those things are really helpful to know.
Anyone else? No? Non-certified personnel transportation. We only have 2 items. Any discussion? No? Transportation, 1 and 2. Any discussion?
Just a quick question. I just want to make sure that the proposals that we got for these 3 custodial are just custodial, nothing else, correct? Yes, we are. You just said it, huh? Oh, same thing. All right. Whatever.
Supplies, 1 and 2. No, 1 through 4, I'm sorry. Yeah, action on 1 and 2.
Correct.
Okay.
Any discussion?
Yes, so that's my question.
Tony's the motion.
Can I get a motion, please,
Ms. Owen will motion it. Well,
to move
yes,
it?
to move it.
D'Antuno will second.
Thank you. Okay, now, any discussion?
Yeah, so I just wanted to make sure that the proposals that we received for these, for the custodial services are just for custodial services and like nothing else besides custodial.
Correct. This is for custodial services. Within the contract is for supplies as well that they provide over a 5-year period. But we did receive proposals. On the second item is to reject all of them. There was a miscalculation within one of the proposals, but it really impacted the ability to score them correctly. So we're working with our consultant to fix the RFP and make sure the specifications are true going forward. We're in that process right now, so that is the reason for the acceptance of the 3 and the rejection to revise the specifications.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's do miscellaneous. Oh, let's vote. Okay.
Lent,
Yes.
Marqueta,
Yes.
Mazzone,
Yes.
Slade,
Yes.
D'Antuno,
Yes.
Giordano,
Yes.
Jodry,
Yes.
Francisco,
Yes.
Solikowski.
Yes,
Resolutions 1 and 2 for supplies, equipment, and services passes.
thank you. Okay, any discussion on 3 and 4? No? Okay, miscellaneous. How many items we have? Miscellaneous 1 through 5. Any discussion? Any questions? Are all the committees proper? Look at them.
So the date for personnel was March 11th, if we want to fill that in.
These are just for February meetings.
Right, these are the February meetings, right.
We did. I gave that information. I'm not sure. She just didn't put the date in, so we'll correct it and put the date.
That'll be filled in later. Right. Okay, board secretary and board business.
None at this time.
Nothing? Hearing of residents on any school district items.
My name is Vincent Fayella. I'm a parent of a child in this school. I just want to speak about an incident that we had that you might or might not know about that happened at the Unified basketball game. we had one of our players collapse, and we had to perform CPR on this player. I want to speak about the response time of the ambulance. The ambulance took at least 12, maybe to 14 minutes to respond to the incident, and we just like to bring more awareness to first aid CPR, and also to somehow figure out if we can possibly have an ambulance on standby for events when this is a unified game, so it's special needs and typical children also in these games. And we'd like to know, bring it out there, discuss it, if we can get an ambulance on standby for when we have any kind of events like that.
We can look into it.
I do want to add that our athletic trainers were on site and did respond in the immediate to the student. But we can look into the ambulance and additional care at
They
events.
did respond, but I'm the one who did the CPR first aid on the child. All right, and I'm a parent. I'm retired from Con Edison almost 3 years, and every year at Con Ed you had to go for CPR training over and over again, and, you know, recertify every year, and I have that training. And I ran across the court knowing that parents are not allowed to run across the court, and I took care of this child, and he's here with us tonight right now. And
We're glad you're okay, and thank you for helping.
it was the trainers did respond, but we just questioned that if we had more first aid CPR equipment there. There was an AED on site. It was in the hallway. By the time somebody went out to get it, bring it back, but thank God we didn't need the AED. But we needed more CPR training stuff, like face masks, possibly pumps, latex gloves, anything to protect anyone that's going to help, administer CPR. Now, I was told that the coaches and the trainers are all trained in CPR, first aid CPR. Okay. Our only biggest problem is that the ambulance response was terrible. Okay, and if this was a worse situation, it could have ended differently. Okay,
Does our ambulance come from Matawan or from Old Bridge?
they came from Old Bridge.
Okay.
I mean, they're not that far away. For 12, 14-minute response time, it was totally unacceptable. All right, thank you. I just hope that, we can do something about getting an ambulance on standby for an event like this. I also want to let you know that I am a coach at Just for Kicks, the special needs soccer program, and this Thursday night we're getting first aid CPR training for all the coaches and whoever else wants to be trained this Thursday night at the Elks. Police officer that's first aid CPR trained is doing the course, and we're implementing it into the Just for Kicks program. And I want to see that being implemented into all special needs programs, anything, having to do with any kind of games that we do have in the school. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The board wants to really thank you for what you did, okay? If you weren't there, things would have turned out differently. Again, thank you.
I would just like to say something real quick. Again, like just to follow up with Matt, I want to say thank you. Not a lot of people would be able to jump up at, when something like that is happening and have the courage to do something. So we want to thank you for saving his life potentially. So thank you.
Anyone else on any school district items? Anything? I see no hands. Oh, we have one more. Okay.
My name is Ron Mack. I'm from resident of Old Bridge.
Right.
Thank you for coming, and the student honors us with his presence, so thank you. I just want to say thank you all for what you do again, and I want to hand out the U.S. Constitution. It's actually very small. I read it last week again on my plane flight from Atlanta Airport to Tampa, which is a very short flight. It takes 30 minutes. But especially on page 21 is the First Amendment, and it overrides everything. And Matt, with your permission, I'd like to hand this to you. These are just copies of the U.S. Constitution. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Anyone else? I guess we're good. Okay, yeah, old business first, though. Any old business? Any new business?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I had noticed that, and this might be for next week, but the calendar options for the 25-26 school year, when will that be discussed?
Tonight.
Okay.
Actually, that was going to be the next thing under new business that I would like to introduce Stacy Sweeter. Stacy Sweeter is co-chair. She's one of our actually this year an instructional math coach, and she also serves as co-chair of Instructional Council. And Instructional Council has prepared these calendars, and Stacy is going to go over exactly what they mean and what the options are.
Okay, hi, good evening to the Board of Education, Central Administration, and the Old Bridge staff and community members in the audience and watching remotely. My name is Stacy Sweeter, and I am the district secondary math coach. I am here with Anahita Keeler, Director of Arts and Culture. We are the co-chairs of the district's Instructional Council Committee, which meets monthly to work on projects which bolster the district's educational programming through research and data analysis. The committee is comprised of 4 teachers, 1 paraprofessional, 2 administrators, 1 director, and 2 supervisors. Every February, we meet along with parents of Old Bridge students to develop school calendar options for the school year that is 2 years from now. We are so appreciative to the parents who took almost 4 hours out of their day to provide input. 3 weeks ago, we analyzed the 2025-2026 school year, and we are presenting 2 options. Here are the details behind the calendar development process. Contractually, there are 181 instructional days for students, plus 2 emergency closing days. Therefore, 183 days for students will be represented on the calendar. There are 3 professional development full days for staff. From the first day of school to the last day of school on the calendar, you will see 186 total days, which include 183 instructional days for students to be present. There are several limitations we must consider when developing the school calendar. At the beginning of the school year, the contract requires that we do not start before September 1st, and 2 staff in-service days take place before the first day of school for students. During the school year, students will not be in school on election days because of the safety concern created by the relatively new law PL 2021 C459, which states, no police officer, whether on duty or off duty, in or out of uniform, shall remain or stand within 100 feet of an early voting location or polling place during the conduct of an election. That results in no school for students on the first Tuesday in November and the first Tuesday in June. Logistical limitations at the end of the school year are as follows. Graduation cannot be before the last day of school, and it cannot be on the last day of school. Graduation must be at PNC Bank Arts Center due to the size of the graduating class, and is therefore limited to taking place on a Monday or a Tuesday, as Wednesdays are difficult and Thursdays and Fridays are unavailable. Many elementary schools do not have air conditioning. Many schools are also used for summer camp and summer school programs. The custodial staff needs at least 1 week to prepare the buildings for those programs. That concludes the logistics we must consider when developing the calendar. We would also like the Old Bridge families to be aware that if your child is absent from school due to a New Jersey Department of Education school year observance, you are able to make the attendance office at your school aware of that when you call to let them know your child will be absent. That day would then be considered an excused absence. School year observances can be found on the New Jersey Department of Education website, and we have also added a link on the Old Bridge school calendar. In consideration of the logistics I mentioned regarding the end of the school year, the committee, including the parents that joined us, have come up with 2 calendar options, and that is what you have in front of you. Thank you.
Thank you. So we will be voting on these next week.
And Matt, I have something.
Yes.
Just a reminder, the Old Bridge Education Foundation, their second annual casino night is April 11th. This Friday is the deadline to get your tickets early. A regular ticket will get you $500 of funny money at the casino night. If you buy your tickets by this Friday the 15th, you'll get $1,000 worth of funny money. Again, the money that's raised for casino night goes towards grant money for teachers, so just less money that teachers had to come out of pocket for. It's a great cause. It's a great night. Again, April 11th, 6:30 at the Palms, from the Old Bridge Education Foundation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Slade. Anyone else?
Oh, yes, me. Once again, I just want to thank you, Vincent, right, for saving that child's life. Yes, thank you. Thank you again for that.
Christina, did you have any questions about the calendar or just?
No, well, I was reviewing it before, and I noticed that on one of the options we had added 3 holidays, and that would be bringing our school year to end later. So I just wanted to see how the community felt about that. I don't know if they saw it, and that's why I asked. I don't know.
I was actually going to jump in and say the same thing. I would love to hear from the community, whether it be here tonight or, you know, through email or phone call, what they think on these 2 options so that we have some input on how the community feels.
Yeah.
Are these on the district website for the community to review?
I don't know that they are. I think they were provided to the board. But I'm going to ask Stacy if you could provide any insight into the conversations that surrounded the 2 calendars and coming up with the addition. Even just a summary of the conversations. I know they were very lengthy conversations and going back and forth over, you know, being respectful of all of the holidays that are celebrated in the district and what that means to our students and our staff and being here for some and not for others and how they impact the calendar. So I know you can see in the one calendar the year we get out much later, but that's in relationship to adding some of those holidays, which can be difficult. So if you want to add anything else.
Right, so we have had community members approach about Diwali and Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha, and we have looked at absence data and things like that. So we did want to make everyone aware of the NJDOE school observances. In the conversation, we talked about surrounding school districts and what they are doing regarding those holidays. So we decided to present 2 options. Other school districts have different situations than we do, but we felt that it is important to have those included. But it is a change from what we've done in the past. So there you have 2 options.
No, and I agree. I do think it's important to be able to celebrate, you know, for everyone to celebrate their holidays. I just wanted to see how the community felt regarding school ending later than usual. I mean, technically, it's not that much later. I know I see on one option, the last day of school would be the 19th, which is a Friday. And then if we add the 3 holidays, it would be the 25th, but that's including the Saturday and Sunday, and then, you know, the 3 holidays would be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I just wanted to get some feedback from the community and see how they felt about extending the school year, those 3 days.
Right, and it impacts graduation, and I think mostly elementary schools. So you can see on the calendar where the 25th is the last day of school. We recommended that to be half days in anticipation of heat. And then on the calendar, so then to talk about graduation, the calendar that ends school on the 19th, graduation could be on the 22nd or 23rd. However, with the calendar where the last day of school is the 25th, graduation would be on the 29th or 30th.
I just want to add to that even if in the calendar that ends on the 25th, even if we didn't utilize the snow days and we were able to end early, graduation still would not be until the 29th or 30th. So you would potentially have the last day of school
Be the 23rd.
if it ended up to be the 20, if we removed the days from the end of the year, which I don't know that it says that on here. This calendar actually notes it does not remove them from the end of the year because it creates another issue of taking those last days off on the Wednesday and Thursday. You have 3 days before you have graduation, which is too long.
2 days are built in though.
2 days are built in. And I see the note on the bottom that the days, if we don't utilize them, the additional days are the 19th.
No, it says
16th,
be
that's-
returned at the end of the school year.
Shall be, okay.
So
So
you would-
it does create that as an
Logistics.
issue that you have all these days off and then graduation.
Yeah, I know when I've talked to administration in the past and said from the community that they feel inequity as far as what holidays we have off and what don't. Fall break tends to be around some of the Jewish holidays and things like that. I was told it was mainly more of the staff because the students can take off excused and it doesn't affect anything. I know for some of the honors class and the AP classes, even though they're excused, those kids are still missing work. So, and I don't know if staff have the same freedom to take off on their religious holidays as well.
So years ago, and I don't remember, within the last 10 years, we had one calendar where we were present on the days near the fall break, which one of them was the Jewish holidays that we do have a significant number of staff that it impacts. We ended up making it one of our in-service professional development days, so staff needed to be here, students didn't, and we ended up having a significant number of staff that were out. So if it had been an instructional day, it could have been problematic for coverage. And I believe it was between 65 and 70 staff members who were out that day. So that would, if that was in addition to our normal number of absences, that would be significant.
Anyone else?
Matt,
Okay.
can we, because this is a little more informal and not voting on some of these things, can we go back to one of these items for discussion? Is that something we
Yes.
can do?
Go ahead.
Okay, so before next week, I was kind of hoping to get a little more information on, this is under, forgive me for 1 second here. Finance, it is number 18, the travel and related expense reimbursement. So I'm trying to just figure out exactly what this resolution is saying about the $150 per staff member for travel and related expenses. So is it just the travel piece? Is it the actual workshops or professional development that the staff are attending? So that's my first question, and then I'll go from there.
So this is an item that's required with budget submission. So this is just saying that there's a maximum expenditure, which is usually set high, $250,000, saying you cannot exceed that total cost. But the per staff member is for mileage for conferences.
Is this something that we've always had in place, or is this something new?
You have to put this every year.
Okay, so this is, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, I have one more thing.
Go ahead.
I do agree that it's a good idea to put both options on the district's website, and the people could send me their votes, and I'll consider it. We'll see what happens. So, thank you.
You mean with the calendar?
Yeah, let people
Right,
get involved
okay,
and
okay,
yeah, let
okay.
us know what they want.
Right. We have a executive closed session tonight, and I need no roll call, no.
You do need a motion to go into exec.
Yeah, but I do need a motion to go into
Giordano,
executive
make the
session.
motion.
Wait, I'm sorry, wait,
Lynn,
wait
we'll
1 second.
Go ahead.
I just want to thank the schools who had invited us to read last week. And I want to thank our little preschoolers. First of all, your son is your twin. He's so cute and so sweet, but they gave us these little thank yous for reading to the class. And yeah, so I just wanted to say thank you to the schools that had invited us out to read last week.
It was the highlight of my week to be in front of kids and reading again, and one of the classes basically had to kick me out because I just wanted to stay. So thank you to all the schools that invited us to come, and I will treasure my little Dr. Seuss hat. So thank you.
Mr. Silikowski, I just wanted to add one thing too.
Go ahead.
Way back when we had the tragedy at Sandy Hook Elementary School, myself and the then chief of police met together for approximately 3.5 hours to try to find a way which school students, staff, and residents can feel safe sending their kids to school after that tragedy. And that's where the birth of the Special 2s and then eventually Special 3s in our schools started. It started off as a few rotating Special 3s at the elementary and SROs at the middle school and high school.
Excuse me, can you explain what a Special 2 and Special 3 is?
So a Special 2 is an officer who either has just retired from the police department or someone who's placed themselves, a person who has put themselves through the police department through an academy and paid for it themselves, but they're not assigned to a police department full-time. So that could be like the Jersey Shore community, where they hire a number of Special 2s because their population over the course of a year is limited, but their population escalates during the summer months. So they hire these Special 2 officers to keep the community safe. And that's where and I have to give a lot of credit at that point to Captain Weiss, who was our school liaison at the time, because it was a great way to employ Special 2s, our partnership, because they were needed in Belmar Seaside during the summer months, but they weren't needed during the fall and winter months. And that's where he went actually out to those police departments and recruited their summer their summer officers to come work in our schools, so they would have year-round employment now. And we were the first ones to do it. I'm not even going to say like someone else could say. We definitely were the first ones to do it because I was talking to him through those recruitment phases. And then, sadly, the world is a dark place at times. Parkland happened, and we knew that we needed to continue with that process, and we needed to expand our security force. And then the state put out legislation for Special 3s, which allowed officers to work in schools just after they retire, but they can only work in schools. They can't work at community events or so forth, but only within schools. So our officers that work in our schools are all either retired or graduates of the academy, and they keep our schools safe every day. But through that process, I've been through a number of chiefs and a number of police department liaisons who've worked with my office to ensure we have the best trained and supportive police staff at our schools. I just want to congratulate that our most recent liaison, who was Lieutenant Montagna, is now Chief Montagna, and he was selected tonight by Town Council to be the Chief Department. It's nice that one of our own who was instrumental in protecting our schools is now overseeing the entire department, so I'm sure that he will always keep an extra good eye on our schools as well as the entire community. So congratulations to him.
Thank you, Mr. Cittadino. Anyone else before I close up? Okay, we're going to go into executive closed session. I need a...
Yes, Giordano, make the motion.
Lent will second.
Thank you. Good night,
Aye.
folks.